We have their blessing. They trust us enough to do what we do, and hopefully we'll have success.
Rader stresses the importance of the public not being involved in the search and not disclosing exact locations of search crews, not only because of safety due to the terrain, but also because it could hinder the investigation.
We can't have people stating that we were on this road at this specific spot, because then at that point in time, when we mark it off that nothing's there, it's a possibility somebody could move her or evidence to that area, and it's already been marked off as search, so we don't go back to it.
That sentiment, something echoed by the agents with the TBI leading the investigation.
There could be a criminal aspect and something happened to her. And in order for us to work that investigation, there are just some things that we're not able to share with the public.
Do what?
Who is this?
This Benny.
Oh. Sitting here.
Yeah. Hey, man, can you give me some insight on why Jody Sue was saying that your daughter said that you told her you saw Summer's body? Can you make any sense out of that?
It's a bunch of bullshit.
Like, why would she say that? It's so fucking, it's like, she says it, but then, like, everyone forgets that she says it, I guess? Like, but did she involve your daughter in telling that lie?
I mean, I don't know. I don't. Oh, goddamn. When are y'all going to stop on this?
Who?
I mean, why no do this? This is a new goddamn year, and I'm sick and fucking tired of this shit.
Then you shouldn't have answered the fucking phone, bud.
Why the fuck you calling my goddamn?
Amy Lou, you sent pictures to my email. Let me check it.
All right. Well, that's good. Y'all go over there and ask why exactly it is he was selling drugs to the children at 110. Why he was potentially causing little girls over there to be sedated and to be touched with the shit he was selling over there. Go ask. Because I have fucking questions. Not standing in front of him anymore.
I had her crying in tears. I mean, just like in a ball, because for like fucking 5 minutes, she wouldn't lay off. And it was Summer's dead body's there, and who gives a fuck about it, and this and blah, blah, and she's dead. Just the grossest.
That, because Don told me on the phone that he's in this, and I could be completely wrong about you or any other situation, and I'm not saying that this is true or not, but Don told me that Don used to come over to your house. He brought Summer there several times. He's actually gotten drugs from Voldemort or Andy, whatever, over while you were home, whatever he wanted, meth, cocaine, marijuana, pills. They were able to get everything from your driveway, and that he's brought Summer over there before. I thought that's why there would be possibly footprints anywhere, if any, but I'm not saying that they were over there for that reason either.
I'm gonna show my face. I'm gonna make this real clear. Those two are not the most reliable sources. I will tell you that Andy smokes. I know that Andy was using that same period of the poop and told him to start real bad behaviors again. I now think for the past couple of years, because of things that were taking place in the last days and hint drops that I now look back on, and I think maybe he was using other things for a couple of years. Andy did have far more contact with them than I did. They were not my type of people. They still are not. However, I will tell you, to my knowledge, not once did they ever get coke, pills, or meth off of him. Not once that I'm aware of. And I mean that sincerely.
Choice.
Alcohol, and I always assumed because of how she acted that it would be downers, right? And so it's like whatever he said about pills or something like that. Andy's thing of choice, like if you give that boy any type of dinner, he's gonna lose his mind and kill somebody. So there's no way. You get what I'm saying? The correlate, And I'll tell you, Dawn has since day one, minute one, that Summer went missing, has continually tried to sling that at neighbors and then drug traffic that wasn't his own, co-workers, one after the next, continually. But he never mentions his own drug dealers, his out-of-town dealings, the pedophiles they've had up on that, pedos, peas, whatever, the essays.
Call them what
Amy Lou, you sent pictures to my email. Let me check it.
All right, well, that's good. Y'all look over there and ask why exactly it is he was selling drugs to the children at 110. Why he was potentially causing little girls over there to be sedated and to be touched with the shit he was selling over there. Go ask. Because I have fucking questions. I'm not standing in front of him anymore.
Your passion, because it seems like you know, and you know.
Those kids come here in the summer before summer died.
You know.
Those kids come here in the summer before summer died.
You know.
Those kids come here in the summer before summer died.
You know.
Those kids come here in the summer before summer died.
I looked in there. I seen 13 messages between her and her I'm gonna say drug dealer because he is Andy. I mean, I know.
I've made statements like that before. Okay. And it's not Randy, it's Andy. I sat there and heard it. I've made statements like that before. Okay. And it's not Randy, it's Andy. I sat there and heard it. Okay.
But yeah, all I seen was the first message before she started walking up to the mailbox to get up here is that it was done, and I was going to read the next message of what she said.
And I'm sorry that you guys feel that way, but that's my baby, and nobody would ever treat her like that as long as I was around. Ever. Nobody would ever treat her like that as long as I was around. Ever.
And it's got to be a predator. Only a predator would come up here and take our daughter. There's just not going to be somebody like, oh, I love you, Summer, and I just want to save you from a bad situation. 90% of the time when someone...
Hold on a second. Did you hear what he said? It ain't going to be somebody that just comes up and says, I love you, Summer. I want to save you from a bad situation. Well, what's the bad situation, Don? What is the bad situation? Are you saying that yourself and your house is a bad situation? In a minute, you make me sick. You make me sick, Don. And I just now started looking at this. Because when I read over it, when I actually went over it, and then I heard about, well, how could you talk about beating a child? And that makes no sense to me. No sense to me at all. Watch this, guys. I would love to get a chance to interview Jose or whoever, even Candace. I want to interview Candace.
It takes a little girl or whatever, a boy even, for 90% of the time is because they're predators. So it's just not good. Somebody has hurt her, probably sexually, maybe beat the fuck out of her, probably killed her.
Look at that. Look at that. Somebody has hurt her. He did not say, oh, damn. He said somebody has. Past tense is in has. Anybody hear that? Did you hear that? He says somebody has hurt her.
All right. I'd do anything to have her back.
Your little girl.
If there's any way you can find it in your heart to please release her somehow. I don't know how you might do that. I mean, 'cause you're probably scared of going to prison for the rest of your life and everything else, I'm sure. But please find it in your heart, have mercy, and find a way of letting her go, and where we can get her back. And just please have mercy on her, and and us, and her brothers. She's such a loving, good spirit. Please don't hurt her. Please let her come home. But my biggest fear is, her being tormented or locked in a dungeon or basement or something, because she loved to be outside all the time. That was her, unfortunately, her downfall. 'Cause a lot of times the boys would be inside and we'd be like, "Where's Summer? Why'd you leave her out there alone? Go get Summer now." And that's happened over and over again. And we'd come out and she would always be close by, but we was always coming up. She had to be outside. She was an outdoor person. And
she loved to be outside.
And I'm so afraid that she's locked away. She's such a loving heart and everything, and I'm afraid that she won't be able to, locked away where she can't be outside or play with a puppy or anything, love nature, and that's my greatest fear, that she's not able to do any of these things anymore, or that she could possibly, I don't want to think she's dead, but it's a possibility.
Need you to, I know they might be pushy and painful at times, so just take it for where they are. When was the last time you saw Summer?
That morning when I woke up, because she was sleeping in between me and her mother.
Okay. Did she wake
up?
I
was kind of laying on her foot a little bit and stuff, and I was like, my back.
Did she wake up?
Did she wake up? No.
Okay.
No.
I was wondering what she said to you, last thing she said. What are the last words she ever said to you? Do you remember?
I'm not sure if it was that night or not, but I remember, clearly, I was like, "Summer, you got to sleep in your own bed." And she come back with big old crocodile tears in her eyes, and she said, "But Daddy, I want to be with you."
I know. But they can't sleep with you forever, Huh? They can't sleep with you forever.
No.
Grow up
And that's how kids grow up, is by you doing that. So you didn't do anything wrong.
No.
And we want you to know that.
Well, it's interesting. The other day, all this stuff going on, when it was so bad, everything on YouTube was so bad, I was begging God. I was like, "Lord," and I was on my knees. I was just at the end of my ropes, and you got the drug thing going on, and where we live at, you got certain groups of people, and I'm not going to mention them by name, but you got these boys and those boys that are all related, and they think that they run everything. And a lot of people for years have run moonshine out there, probably manufactured meth and other stuff like that, and they think that they are the Bloods and the Crips of the hillbillies.
Yeah, we have, where I live, there's something very similar called the cornbread mafia.
Yeah, that runs from here to through Georgia.
Georgia.
Cornbread mafia.
And they take that name and that title very seriously.
Yep. So
the Department of Child Protective Services confirmed today they are involved in the investigation into the disappearance of Summer Wells. They would not elaborate, though, on how they were involved. The Department of Child Protective Services confirmed today they are involved in the investigation into the disappearance of Summer Wells. They would not elaborate, though, on how they were involved. The Department of Child Protective Services confirmed today they are involved in the investigation into the disappearance of Summer Wells. They would not elaborate, though, on how they were involved.